You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. The Victoria Police Department are searching for a 19-year-old woman who is missing. They report that Amanda Stevenson was last seen last Sunday, November 19th. 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick has an update on Stevenson's search. Adarius?
That's right, Adam. The 19-year-old's mother spoke to Texas EquuSearch, and they've approved the search for Amanda. Texas EquuSearch has helped with thousands of cases. Now they want to help with this one. The Victoria community has organized search parties through social media. They want answers about Amanda's whereabouts. If you have any information on Amanda Stevenson, please contact Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. Adam, back to you.
Thank you, Darius. 25 News Now has reached out to the Victoria Police Department regarding a traffic stop on November 22nd in the 900 block of Ball Airport Road, where an occupant of the vehicle shot himself. We've asked for that person's name, who has since died from shooting themselves. This year will be the 20th annual Tree of Angels ceremony, which honors victims of violent crimes. It will be Sunday, December 10th at 4 p.m. at the Bauer Community Center, 2300 North Highway 35 in Port Lavaca. To have a picture of your loved one on display included in the victim's tribute PowerPoint presentation and a personalized candle, please call Mary Sue Woods at 361-550-7481. Reception and silent auction will follow after the ceremony. The City of Victoria has called for a special election for mayor set for February 3rd. The city will host an informational session next Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Just show up at the City Council Chambers, 107 West Juan Lynn Street. Interested applicants will learn more about the duties of mayor. Jeff Bachnight formally resigned to run for the District 30 State House seat. The deadline to file for a place on the ballot is December 4th. All right, it's time to talk weather on this Sunday night. We're going to check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon to see what your week will look like. Howie, cold weather or kind of unusually hot?
Well, you said you're going camping, Adam. That's a ways away. For now, yeah, we're on the cool down. We got some strong winds out there that adds to it, and there's not a lot of sunshine when we have daytime. So very much on the chilly side. Our winds should start to lighten up maybe by Wednesday, Thursday. Either way, if they're still blowing, at least we'll have some warmer temperatures by then. So this evening, here's what we're looking at. We're looking at the 50s, but then overnight, temperatures drop down to around 50 degrees. Good news, we'll be on the dry side. Now, rain chances and warmer weather are headed our way down the line, and we're going to talk all about that coming up in a little bit, Adam.
Thanks, Howie. A total of 58 hostages have been freed by Hamas since the start of the 4-day ceasefire agreement. On Sunday, the first American hostage was released, a 4-year-old girl who marked her birthday while being held by Hamas. Her parents both killed in that October 7th Hamas attack inside Israel. In late word today Hamas saying they're looking to extend the truce after the 4th-day period ends.
17 additional hostages held by Hamas in Gaza for the past 51 days released on Sunday, 14 Israelis and 3 foreign nationals. Among those freed, Abigail Edan, who turned 4 on Friday. Her parents were murdered on October 7th during that Hamas attack. The White House says she is the first American hostage to be released.
She's now safely in Israel, and we continue to press and expect for additional Americans will be released as well.
Also on Sunday, Hagar Brodich and her 3 children, 10-year-old Ofri, 8-year-old Yuval, and 4-year-old Uriah, and 84-year-old Alma Avraham, airlifted to a hospital upon her release. Since the 4-day ceasefire began, 58 hostages have been freed by Hamas, 24 on Friday, 13 Israelis and 11 foreign nationals. Then on Saturday, 17 more, including 13 Israelis and 4 Thai nationals. Several children were among those released Saturday, including 9-year-old Irish-Israeli Emily Hand, finally back in her father's arms. Saturday's release was initially delayed, Hamas militants accusing Israel of violating the terms of the ceasefire agreement by not allowing enough aid trucks to enter northern Gaza. The IDF disputing that claim, saying nearly 200 humanitarian trucks entered Gaza on Saturday via the Rafah crossing, with more than 200 today. President Biden says the U.S. will continue to work to extend the pause in fighting.
That's my goal. That's our goal, to keep this pause going beyond tomorrow so that we can continue to see more hostages come out and surge more humanitarian relief into those who in need in Gaza.
Under the terms of the ceasefire agreement, Israel has released over 100 Palestinian prisoners, women and teenage boys from its jails to the West Bank. Matt Gutman, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
In Vermont, three 20-year-old men of Palestinian descent were shot while visiting family. The victims, students at Brown University, Haverford College, and Trinity College, are receiving care at a local medical hospital. Local law enforcement there is investigating with federal support. The motive remains unclear. Mayor Winberg, Governor Scott, and officials denounced the violence, offering support. Investigations continue with closed streets as evidence is gathered. Grab your cell phone, scan this QR code. That's a quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. Watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. Learn all about our ongoing contests right there on the app and submit news tips and photos. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up, new details tonight on the prison stabbing of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin.
Could have some strong currents out there and waves out on the water, so be very careful. We'll talk more about our weather changes coming up in just a little bit.
After 4 people were fatally shot to death in North Carolina this morning. Police say preliminary evidence seems to point to a murder-suicide at an encampment in Sampson County where several homeless people live. Officials were dispatched to reports of shots fired around 9:22 a.m. Upon arrival, deputies discovered the bodies of 2 males and 2 females. Deputies are investigating the deaths and do not say they believe there's any danger to the public. The death toll from flooding in Somalia has climbed to nearly 100. 96 people have died as a result of the floods caused by heavy rains, according to state news agency SANA. The country has been battered by relentless heavy rains that began in October due to El Nino and Indian Ocean weather phenomenon. Both are climate patterns that impact ocean surface temperatures and cause above-average rainfall. The United Nations estimates that about 700,000 people have been displaced, and the flooding is said to be the worst in decades. Now to the deadly winter storm sweeping east just in time for the post-Thanksgiving rush. Heavy snow caused whiteout conditions across Kansas today where snowplows were out in full force. There were more than 100 accidents across that region, and in Nebraska this weekend at least 2 people have died. That storm system now impacting travel along the I-95 corridor.
Tonight, a massive winter storm creating deadly and dangerous conditions during the post-Thanksgiving holiday travel crush. In Nebraska, emergency crews responding to at least 30 crashes. 2 people were killed. This SUV flipped on its side due to the icy conditions. No one seriously injured. In Wyoming, slick roads causing this massive pileup on I-80 involving semi-trucks, several jackknifed. Statewide, police responding to at least 125 weather-related crashes. That same storm system that wreaked havoc in the Great Plains, now moving east. Today, there were 10 million people in 11 states, from Texas to New York, under winter weather alerts on what's expected to be the busiest travel day of the year.
I travel from California to New York back and forth all the time. I have never had this much of a wait. I don't know why.
In Chicago, growing crowds and delays.
It just looks like it's going to be a lot to get through.
Snow blanketing the roads in Wichita, Kansas. Plow trucks out in force. But several cars abandoned after spinning out. This driver walking away from a head-on crash.
Some lady got too close to us coming head on and caused us to spin out in the ditch.
And that winter storm delaying more than 1,000 flights at one point today, many of them out of Chicago, but surprisingly, very few cancellations. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Newark, New Jersey.
There are new details tonight on the prison stabbing of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Officials say Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd back in 2020, sparking protests worldwide, is in stable condition. He was rushed to a hospital late Friday.
Tonight, Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd by kneeling on his neck, now in stable condition. Sources telling ABC News he is expected to survive after being stabbed by a fellow inmate at this Arizona prison. Chauvin sustaining serious injuries in the Friday attack. The Bureau of Prisons saying its employees initiated life-saving measures before EMS personnel arrived. Chauvin then rushed to the hospital. Authorities in Minnesota, where Chauvin was an officer, condemning the attack.
People who are in the custody of the state, in jail and in prisons, have a right to be safe.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison also saying in a statement, "I'm sad to hear that Derek Chauvin was the target of violence. Like any incarcerated individual, he should be able to serve his sentence without fear of retaliation or violence." Chauvin currently serving a 21-year federal sentence for violating George Floyd's civil rights and a 22-year state sentence for second-degree murder. In a documentary released earlier this month called The Fall of Minneapolis, Chauvin speaking out about his conviction, calling his trial and sentencing a sham, and claiming that putting his knee on Floyd's neck was part of his police training manual.
I'm looking at it right now, 5-316, maximal restraint technique, right in their written policy manual.
And the attack on Chauvin is just the latest in a series of incidents involving high-profile inmates, including the stabbing of former U.S. gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar and the 2019 suicide of Jeffrey Epstein, raising questions about the safety of inmates within the Bureau of Prisons. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Hundreds of protesters in favor of a ceasefire shut down the Manhattan Bridge today. The demonstration was organized by the activist group Jewish Voice for Peace and comes out on the busiest travel day of the year. Protesters demanded for President Biden to call for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. The group filled the bridge with chants and signs that included phrases such as, quote, "The whole world is watching," and "Palestinians should be free." In a post to X, organizers said they plan to, quote, "make business as usual as possible until the U.S. stops funding and fueling a genocide." Both lanes of the Manhattan Bridge have since reopened. However, drivers were advised to expect traffic and residual delays in the area. One person was killed overnight when a semi-truck rolled over into a river on Interstate 40 near Oklahoma City. Authorities say the accident happened shortly after 1 a.m. in the westbound side of Interstate 40. The driver of the truck was pronounced dead at the scene. Multiple cars were also involved in the crash, injuring 5 people who were treated at the scene. It's unclear exactly what caused the crash, and authorities are investigating. Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. With Black Friday over, the virtual deals are on for a Cyber Monday. So will you be doing any Cyber Online Monday shopping? Let's take a look at these results. 18% say yes, you'll be participating in Cyber Monday. and 82% say no. Thanks for voting. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. And for more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. It's where you can submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. And you can submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Cyber Monday. It's good. You can do everything online because it's going to be cold outside with wind. We'll talk all about it straight ahead. All right, so cooler with clouds. Even though that cold front moved through and wrenched out the moisture, we're still holding on to some cloud cover. We got low-level moisture still trying to battle in from the Gulf. So winds will pick up. They've done so. But another cold front later on in the week. So what happened today? 62. Okay, that's not too bad. That's almost 10 degrees below average. But with the winds, the cloud cover, that felt kind of nippy outside. We've been as high as 88 back in 1965. All right, here's our future temperatures. So look at this. Dropping into the 40s overnight. We lost a lot of moisture. Heat's escaping into the atmosphere. Cooler, dry, sinking air is moving down from the north and is looking to drop our temperatures as they drop right off the screen as well. But our winds, that's really the main problem because when that wind wasn't blowing, it wasn't too bad. I mean, low 60s, not too bad. But when you get these with the cooler temperatures and the winds whipping up, hey, makes it feel a lot colder. You know, the real feel effect could take us down into the 50s or the 40s. Then overnight, if we're in the 40s with that wind, hey, could feel like the 30s in some spots. These winds should start to let up by Wednesday. We'll start to see warmer temperatures by Wednesday as well. All right, look at this. Looks like the desert now. We used to have temperatures or dew point temperatures in the 50s and 60s. That boundary came through. Just like you take a shirt that's all wet and wring out all that moisture, that's what happened. Now look at these dew points in the 20s and the 30s. They'll slowly start to rebound, especially later in the week when high pressure moves off. Here we are now. High pressure is going to move off. You'll start to see more moisture. But for now, what happened? Boundary pushed through the area. Cool, dry, sinking air moving in. We're seeing winds along the boundary and the winds moving from the north, hitting the coast. We're seeing some strong winds in the crossroads. Now, as I mentioned, the cool air will start to move off or be replaced by warmer air, but the winds will start to die down. Even though high pressure is moving into the area, hey, we're still holding on to some cloud cover, moisture moving in from a few different locations. Not going to allow for showers, though, for a couple of days with the high there. The high will start to move off, though, and when that happens, then we'll start to see more warm moisture out of the Gulf temperatures will be on the rise, but rain chances will increase as well. Let's go to our marine forecast. So 66 degrees for that water, slowly dropping down. Now seas will be 4 to 6, occasionally up to 8 feet. Now winds have been, they've downgraded enough, or they will, to not warrant a small craft advisory anymore, but still the bays will be on the choppy side. Be careful out there. So 50s this evening, overnight, getting close to that 40-degree mark. We'll be at 50, mostly cloudy, but dry. And then for tomorrow, 55 degrees with those winds, mostly cloudy. I'm wearing a jacket, that's for sure. I don't know, some of you are tougher than me, though. So looking ahead, here's what we have. So I talked about it. We stay cool. Then that Gulf return flow, that warm moisture moves back in. Temperatures shoot up, but so do those rain chances. Then another boundary comes down. Doesn't really knock us down too badly, but keeping moisture and rain chances alive probably for our next weekend. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free on the Android and iPhone. I'll hold off for a second for Zach, and here he is.
All right, I think I'm ready now. I cleared my throat. The Texans and Jaguars battled for first in the division. I'll have that in sports. The Jaguars travel to Houston, first place in the division on the line. Houston was down 10 early, but C.J. Stroud doing what he's done all year long, making magic happen, moving around, buying time, and to cap it off, hits his favorite weapon, Tank Dell, to make it a 10-7 ball game. Late in the fourth, deficit back to 10. Stroud again buying time. This time, it's Nico Collins. Now it's just a 3-point game. The Texans get one last gasp. 58 yards for the tie off the crossbar. Heartbreaker in Houston. The Jags' division lead back to 2 games. Here's DeMeco Ryans afterwards.
For us, it's one that, of course, we didn't play our best. And as I told our guys, you don't play your best, you don't execute versus a good team, this is what happens, right? There's no need to hold our head or sulk about anything. Like, we got to do something about it when we're out there on the field, right? We got to execute. We got to play better. You play better, you'll win the game. And today we didn't deserve to win because we didn't play good enough.
Houston gets the Denver Broncos next week. The Patriots taking on the Giants. You see Mac Jones right now, but in a second, you won't. They put in Bailey Zappi, who's going to give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson to tie the game. That's a low-scoring game. The Giants took the lead on a fourth-quarter field goal. The Patriots, though, had a chance to tie it, but it's wide left. The Giants win 10-7. Friday night in Seguin, the Calhoun Sand Crabs took on the Alice Coyotes. Lots of jawing back and forth from these two teams all week. On the very first possession of the game, Alice just going to go for it all, but it's just off the fingertips. Calhoun would later get a 4th down stop, and 2 plays later, they would turn that into an offensive touchdown to strike first. It would be 7-0 at Matador Stadium. Now here's where it gets crazy. On Alice's next possession, they were deep in Sand Crab territory, 4th and about 6 inches. It's close. They bring out the sticks. Look at how close that is, but not quite enough. And the Sand Crabs hold again. They march down the field again, and they punch it in again. They are regional finals bound, where they will play Davenport at the Alamo Dome. We're getting not 1 but 2 games here in Victoria. The first one, a Thursday night showdown between 2 district rivals, and it's a good one, a rematch of the district championship on the last week of the regular season between Refugio and Ganado. Should be a fun one. Then the next day, On Friday, we've got Tidehaven versus Poth. Last year, the Poth Pirates knocked out the Tigers in the regional finals round and a defensive slugfest, winning 12-6, expecting a similar game this year. All right, well, in Yoakum on Saturday, a Christmas basketball tournament helped get many kids gifts for the holidays. They gave away bikes and all sorts of presents, and to cap it off, they had a championship basketball game. They also had a bake sale to help Yoakum star wide receiver Xavier Barnett cover traveling expenses because he was invited to the 2024 All-American Bowl. Wow, great stuff there out in Yoakum. That's it for your sports. Adam, back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. Stay with us. Coming up, police respond to a store alarm to find a deer causing mayhem inside. Experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Check out this video of a deer apparently getting in a jump start on Black Friday shopping. Wonder if he'll do any Cyber Monday shopping. Police in Rockland, Maine responded to an alarm call at a local store on Thanksgiving. Officers were expecting to find a burglar or intruder.
Where's the deer?
But instead they found...
Can they take down the graphic real quick? Can I see the deer? There it is. They took it down. Where's it at?
I'm looking. Let's see.
I don't see it.
Oh, there he is right there. So on the right side of your screen. So he was causing some mayhem. It apparently smashed through a large front glass window to get in. Store managers helped police, heard the deer outside. Officers say the animal was not seriously injured after breaking and entering. Wow.
What do you think she was after? Food, or it looks like the pharmacy over there now?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how deer find themselves in those situations.
Yeah, it happened in Hallettsville a couple months ago. It broke into the store. They found it behind the counter or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You did.
Was that over the summer? I think it was over the
Yeah,
summer.
it was.
Wow.
Yeah, they get in there, get scared, and just start kicking around. And
oh, my
God.
God.
All over the place.
They destroy your store, you can't do nothing.
Well, at least the deer's in good shape. Though they got insurance, all that stuff will be replaced.
Yeah.
Glad the deer's doing better. Let's take one last look at our weather. So, yeah, temperature's not horrible, but you add the winds into the mix. Yeah, a little breezy. That can feel on the chilly side. Okay, let's go to the next slide. There we go. We'll be in the 50s, and then overnight dropping down to 50 degrees, mostly cloudy. Hey, we're staying dry, though. It's going to be a little breezy and chilly. And looking ahead to tomorrow, 55, breezy and mostly cloudy. Looking ahead, we do start to warm up, and as we do that, rain chances will be on the increase later on in the week.
All right. Thanks, Howie, and thank you, Zach. And thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a good night, everyone.